From the News Channel 5 Network, this is Sportsline.
Welcome into Sportsline right here on News Channel 5 Plus. I'm Jon Burton. It is a Tuesday night extravaganza. Normally, I join you on Wednesdays, but here on a Tuesday, filling in for Steve Lehman. Steve traveling to Green Bay, where he'll be covering Thursday night's game between the Tennessee Titans and the Green Bay Packers at historic Lambeau Field. Don't forget, over on News Channel 5, at 6:30, our pregame special begins. It's a special edition of News Channel 5 at 6:30. We will be live and in studio and also on location at Green Bay, getting you ready for the Titans and the Packers. And then at 7 o'clock, keep it right here or right there on News Channel 5. As we'll have the game for you. Titans at Packers. You can also watch it on Prime Video. Thursday night football as the Tennessee Titans try to up their record to 7-3. We're going to hear a lot from the Titans today as they held their only practice and full media availability ahead of Thursday night's game with the Packers. Of course, they'll be traveling to Green Bay tomorrow, Wednesday, and then play the game on Thursday. So a short week for the Tennessee Titans as they get ready to go to Green Bay to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. The Packers coming off a big win, a big home win the other day over the Dallas Cowboys, coming back from 14 points down in the second half to force overtime before they eventually won it. And, of course, the Titans coming off that win over the Denver Broncos at Nissan Stadium, a hard-fought and physical 14-10 game. Of course, the Titans pretty banged up heading into this week. They have a long injury list heading into this game. And again, it's on a short week. Meanwhile, we got plenty to keep you updated on throughout the hour as well. The Predators at home tonight taking on the Minnesota Wild. At last count, they were up 2-0 late in the first period there. So a good start for the Preds as they look for a second straight win to start their homestand. Of course, the Preds coming off a 2-1 win over the New York Rangers back on Saturday night. The Vanderbilt men's team also in action tonight. They are in Philly taking on Temple, so we'll get you updated on that score as well. Of course, the Commodores coming in 0-2 on the season with losses to Memphis and Southern Miss. They, of course, looking to win their first game of the season. The Vanderbilt women, they beat Tarleton earlier today. That was an 11 a.m. start over at Memorial Gym. A special late morning weekday start for the Vanderbilt women, but they do pick up the W as they are off to a 4-0 start, playing extremely well under second-year head coach Shea Ralph to begin this season. But as we said, it is the Tennessee Titans at the Green Bay Packers Thursday night. You can watch it on News Channel 5. And a short week for the Titans to get ready for this game. Head coach Mike Vrabel meeting with the media earlier today to give his thoughts on the short week and playing a suddenly rejuvenated Green Bay Packers team.
Well, they play hard. They play extremely hard. They, if they give up a play, they've figured out how to go down and get stops and been opportunistic with turnovers. Stopped giving up, a lot of explosive gains. So those are things that'll help you no matter who's out there. And like KB said, and I appreciate everybody recognizing it. These guys get opportunities, and it's cool to see them take advantage of them, and then they'll hopefully earn more opportunities and be ready to go if we need them.
With that on the defense, yards are being given up, but it seems like you guys hampered down in the red zone. What has been the key for you guys to find that success there?
I think just being consistent and, not panicking and guys being able to defend the goal line and, stopping the run, not letting teams run it in, challenging down there at the goal line, all those things that we've been working on in the offseason. Taking care of the quarterback. The quarterback, I don't think, hasn't hurt us. Where you see some of these play extensions, that's usually where, when things break down, guys are able to scramble and get in and, get into the middle of the defense and then throw it, or they're on the edge. So, just have to continue to try to be great down there when they get it down there.
With all the changes you've had to make in the secondary this year, how good has it been to have a guy like Byard who has so much knowledge of your system and all to kind of settle everything down and control everything back?
Yeah, very valuable just as far as the consistency, the communication. Does a great job of trying to spread our message. And there's a handful of guys that we have been together with us here for 4 or 5 years. So that's invaluable. But it's a new challenge this week. Everybody that's going up there that'll play in the game, they'll have to be ready. It'll be, I think with this offense and with Aaron, it's just everything's so much faster and so much quicker happens. And you can see they're willing to move the ball down the field. They hit some shots last week. They connected on to help them win.
How much is football, a team's football culture in general, and your culture specifically, kind of built and enhanced by the closed circle? It's just you guys. It's just the 69 guys and the coaching staff. You've got that message on the door going out about keeping it in-house.
Well, we try to, to that point or that question about keeping it in-house, it's like, we try to operate like a family, and we try to, put a lot into it. We spend time, building relationships, trying to, take care. We got so many people in place that can help guys off the field and help them deal with things that they're working through, whether it's family or anything else. And so I don't necessarily want a lot of people to know about my family, so I wouldn't expect, us to try to share a lot of that news. That's stuff that's come with a lot of time and effort and trust. And so it's not like it's some big secret, but, I'm in a valuable position to understand that everybody's got stuff going on. Guys come to me, or I'm aware of stuff, so that's something that we hold pretty near and dear. Now, as far as the culture, the leaders are the ones that ultimately define what that is, define what that culture is. The culture hopefully drives the behavior and how we act, how we respond, and then ultimately you're looking for results. And so I think the consistency has been fantastic. Like the message to Kevin, about Kevin is that we've had a lot of those guys, not a ton of them, but you can just say like Derek and Ben and Kevin and Jeffrey and just, there's a handful of guys that have been here for the entire time that have kind of held us together when there's been so much turnover.
Is there an automatic degree of camaraderie that just comes out of it naturally when you're together that way?
I think so. I think we travel. We spend a lot of time together. These guys make commitments to do their job, be away from their families. Some guys have children. They have significant others in other cities, and it's I appreciate the commitment that they make and each and every week. So everybody's trying to do that, and I think they lean on each other. I think they understand that they're all kind of going through the same thing, that whatever their feelings are off the field or their issues are off the field, that they're not alone in what they're dealing with. And then hopefully there's a lot of football that's being talked about as well, which I think that brings you together.
What's the key to substituting efficiently on defense, giving Rodgers attention for getting the penalties?
Carefully. I think that's probably the best word, is you have to be very, very careful and selective. And, they're a very in tune group and unit with that. And give them credit. They try to take advantage of everything that they, every edge that they can find.
A.J. Dillon's a huge dude. Do you think that do you expect them to lean on him, especially in a short week?
Well, they've leaned on him and Jones. Those guys are, have the bulk of the targets, whether they're handing them off to him or throwing, and obviously, the size of the receivers, I think. But I wouldn't imagine them changing. They have run it for over 200 yards against 4 opponents, won 3 of those games, and those are impressive numbers.
How have they been so effective from what you've seen on film over the last month? How have they been so effective with the run game?
I think the O-line's coming back together. I think they've got a group in there that they like. They have one of the best blocking tight ends in the league, Mercedes Lewis. The backs run hard. And as always, when you're hitting those explosive gains down the field, receivers have to be willing to go do their job and find somebody to block. So that's the combination. They have really good backs, and they mix up the scheme. They run inside, they run outside zone, they work toss crack. So they keep you guessing and keep you defending it.
Christian Watson had a huge game this past weekend. Just what do you see out of that rookie?
Well, I think more comfort level. I think that there's a definite skill set. There's a size. There's a speed. They've handed it to him. In motion. They've got him on catch and runs, and they've worked him down the field. So looks like he should be coming into the game with a lot of confidence after Sunday.
LaFleur said earlier this week that he saw a lot of similarities in their run scheme versus your run scheme, specifically with outside zones. Is that something that you see? And if so, how might that help you in containing them, knowing how good and how much they rely on the run?
Well, we'll have to be prepared for whatever it may be. I mean, I think that, people that study this scheme and kind of work towards it as what they see as their scheme, there's landmarks, there's tracks, there's combination blocks. So, I'm sure that's all very similar. They probably do it out of the gun more than we do. But, everything is going to have a little bit of wrinkles, and whether we have knowledge of it, I think we still have to go out and tackle. We've got to avoid, the biggest thing is not putting ourselves in position to have one-on-one tackles with Jones or Dillon, whether that's, or the receivers out on the perimeter. Those are like long handoffs, as efficient as they are at the run reliefs.
Is being the road team on a short week a lot more challenging in terms of schedule and preparation and all that kind of stuff?
Just glad they're not coming off a bye, I guess. So we'll go on the road.
What's your feeling about the status of penalties? It seemed like I haven't looked game by game, but I know you're not ranked
around the league or us.
You.
We've again. I think that there's been some ones that we could have avoided. I would have loved to be able to, the operation penalties. Lining up off sides, jumping. Those are. I think, it could end up costing you. I think we've done a nice job of not doing the dumb stuff that hurts the team, the things that are glaringly after the play, 15 yards. Maybe, I don't know, we can debate whether Sam was pulled into the quarterback, and still they put a lot of responsibility on that player. I would like it cleaned up, but I don't think it's, if we had a team that was just swinging and punching and the second guy in, and, that would be disappointing. So, yes, there's some things that we would like to not have, but also just looking on a positive note, I don't think we have a team that's trying to do dumb stuff to hurt the team, hit a guy, 5 yards out of bounds late.
You've got Amani listed as a full participant yesterday in your estimated report. Is he looking good for Thursday for you?
He was dominating in that walkthrough yesterday.
On the note of that with Ben Jones, though, this is a guy that you see plays almost every single game. With the concussion listing, is that something that happened in the game?
That happened in the game. Yep, that occurred in the game. So we'll keep you updated on Ben. Obviously, anytime somebody's in the concussion protocol, we treat that with the utmost respect. And Ben seems to be feeling better, and saw him this morning, so that's all positive. We'll update. We signed a kicker to the practice squad, so these decisions can come down to the game as it relates to Thursday. Being able to bring guys up on the day of the game because you play on Thursday.
What was the conversation with Caleb like? You've had some tough ones with him dealing with his injuries since he got.
Well, just everybody's disappointed. Came to work every day with great attitude, and hopefully we can get. He can get healthy, and then we'll reevaluate where things are. And unfortunate. Guys, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Titans head coach Mike Vrabel earlier today over at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. As we said, a short week for the Titans, getting ready to play a Thursday night game in Green Bay against the Packers. And, of course, the Titans looking to get another win and move closer towards winning another AFC South divisional title. They've got a pretty comfortable lead as far as that goes. And, of course, with things so topsy-turvy in the AFC right now, Titans could wind up with the 2 seed, maybe even the 1 seed in the AFC like they did last year. So in order to do that, they'll need to keep winning. All right, time for our first break. When we come back, we will hear from Titans starting quarterback Ryan Tannehill. How is he feeling on a short week? Already banged up with an ankle, getting ready for Thursday night in Green Bay. You'll hear from number 17 and a lot more. Your phone calls as well, 615-737-7767. What are your thoughts on the Titans as they get ready to take on the Green Bay Packers, or whatever's on your sporting mind? We'll also update you on the Vanderbilt men's basketball team and the Preds, both in action tonight. Stay with us. More coming up here on Sportsline.